Right, it says we're live. 2-minute warning. If anybody's here early, I'm ready to go. So we have our 2-minute warning, and just have everything ready here for our premiere video of my Hall of Fame inductees video series. So we have Harold Baines, Roy Halladay, Edgar Martinez, Mike Mussina, Mariano Rivera, and Lee Smith. These are our 2019 inductees. And I'll be getting ready to start in just less than a minute here. If somebody jumps on, that's fine. If not, this is just a way of me getting my videos up quicker than me trying to upload them on my cell phone or my iPad. Can't do it on my iMac. That's where I do most of my work upstairs. So I'm in my outer office. Downstairs, I have a garage with an office built inside. 2-car garage. No, it's a 1-car garage. All right, we have 10:30 here. So we are getting ready to start this live feed. I'll try and pay attention to the chat. If I miss something, I'll do it between our Hall of Fame inductees for 2019. Once again, I'll do an intro for somebody that shows up now. We've got Harold Baines here. We've got Roy Halladay. We've got Edgar Martinez. We've got Mike Mussina, Mariano Rivera, and Lee Smith, our 6 Hall of Famers for 2019. We're going to start out with Harold Baines. Harold Douglas Baines. His primary team was the Chicago White Sox, and his primary position is designated hitter. At its most basic level, baseball is a hitter's game. Hits equal runs, and runs equal wins. At every turn, Harold Baines parlayed his ability to hit into baseball stardom. The guys that could fly out hit, said Hall of Famer Brooks Robinson. Baines began his professional baseball career as the #1 pick in the 1977 amateur draft by the Chicago White Sox. As the story goes, future Hall of Fame owner Bill Veeck first saw Baines at a Little League game when he was 12 years old, then followed his career until he was eligible for the draft. I must have had a pretty decent day in Little League that day, Baines said. Baines quickly worked his way through the White Sox system, surfacing in the majors in the 80s. As young manager Tony La Russa was assembling a future division winner. By 1982, Baines, an outfielder, was receiving most valuable player votes after hitting 25 homers and driving in 100 runs during that season. Over the following 5 seasons, Baines was named to 3 All-Star teams while averaging 22 homers and 97 RBIs. He led the White Sox to the 1983 American League West title, the Sox' first postseason appearance since 1959. As he reached age 30, he quickly became a baseball version of problem solver. Traded to the Rangers in the middle of the 1989 season in the Sammy Sosa deal, Baines developed a reputation as a player who could help any team during the stretch drive, and one of the best designated hitters in the game. Baines appeared in 1,643 of his 2,830 big league games as a designated hitter, making only 63 appearances in the field from 1989 until the end of his career. I guess that's when I realized that it was business, said Baines. of the trade from the White Sox. Everybody's not as fortunate as Cal Ripken to stay in one city his whole career. The Rangers sent Baines to the A's in 1990, where he helped Oakland win the American League pennant. Baines homered in the World Series against the Reds, but Cincinnati swept Oakland. I had one goal, to get a World Series ring, said Baines, who hit .324 in 8 postseason series. I never got there. On paper, we had a better team than the Reds in 1990. So that'll tell you right there that you don't know. Baines moved to the Orioles for 2 seasons in 94 and 95, then back to the White Sox, back to the Orioles, then on to Cleveland before more stops with Baltimore and the White Sox, with whom he ended his career in 2001. The final tally, 2,866 hits and 1,628 RBIs to go along with the 384 home runs, a .289 batting average, and 6 All-Star game selections. Harold Baines. Next we have on our list Roy Halladay. Roy Halladay right here. Here's his card. Harry Leroy Halladay. His primary team was the Toronto Blue Jays, and primary position, of course, was a pitcher. Roy Halladay went from near the top of the baseball world to the minors and back again during his pro career. He will never leave its peak, however, now that he belongs to Cooperstown. Halladay was born Harry Leroy Halladay on May 14, 1977 in Denver. He grew to a 6'6", 225-pound frame perfectly suited for delivering a baseball at more than 90 miles per hour. Accordingly, the Toronto Blue Jays took Halladay fresh off his senior season at Arvada West, Colorado High School, with the 17th overall pick in the 1995 MLB draft. Halladay quickly advanced in the minor leagues, finding himself with AAA Syracuse by the end of the 97 season. The next year, Halladay debuted with the Blue Jays as a late season call-up. In his second start on September 27th, Halladay was within 1 out of a no-hitter when the Tigers' Bobby Higginson smacked a home run with 2 gone in the 9th. In some ways, it was almost an unfortunate thing that happened. Blue Jays general manager Gord Ash told the Syracuse Post-Standard in the spring training of '99, "It was great to watch it and see it unfold, but at the same time, you don't want a young pitcher like that pegged every time he goes out there as the guy who almost threw the no-hitter." Halladay was penciled into the Blue Jays rotation in 1999, but struggled in spring training and began the year in the bullpen, eventually posting an 8-7 record with a 3.92 ERA. The next season, Halladay struggled to a 4-7 record with a 10.64 ERA and 19 appearances. In late spring training of 2001, with Halladay still struggling, the Blue Jays sent him to the minors, not just AAA, but all the way down to Class A Dunedin. It was like a nightmare, the worst thing that could possibly happen. Halladay told the Toronto Star in 2003, "There's nothing you can do to feel better." I told him, Ash said, "we need to start all over again." At first, Halladay struggled in Class A ball, but with help from former Blue Jays pitching coach Mel Queen, Halladay rebuilt his confidence along with his delivery. When he returned to the Blue Jays later that year, Halladay had fashioned a release point that created a darting, virtually unhittable fastball. By the end of the 2000 season, Halladay, now committed to a grueling workout routine and incessantly studying videotape of hitters, was 19-7 with a 2.93 ERA and a league best 239.1 innings. In 2003, he was the American League Cy Young Award winner, following a 22-7 campaign that featured 204 strikeouts against only 36 walks. There aren't many pitchers that could do what he did, told the Toronto Star, but Doc was able to do it because of the special type of individual he is. Aside from a truncated 2004 season due to the shoulder problems, Halladay was at the top of his game in 2002 to 2012. The Blue Jays traded him to the Phillies following the 2009 season, and in 2010 he posted a 21-10 record and a 2.44 ERA, throwing a perfect game on May 29th against the Marlins, and then a no-hitter in Game 1 of the NLDS against the Reds on October 6th. Just the second no-hitter in postseason history. He won his second Cy Young Award after the season. In 2011, he finished second Cy Young Award. Sorry about that. Voting after a 19-6 season with a 2.35 ERA, but shoulder problems plagued him again in 2012, and after 13 starts, a 14-5 record with a 6.82 ERA in 2013, Halladay called it a career. His final numbers, a record of 203 wins, 105 losses, with a 3.38 ERA, 67 complete games, and 2,117 strikeouts, and 2,749.1 innings. He led the league in complete games 7 times, the most of any pitcher whose career began after World War II. Halladay, who began flying as a teenager and whose father was a longtime commercial pilot, passed away when the private plane he was operating crashed into the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of nearby Tampa, Florida, on November 7th, 2017. Again, Roy Halladay, another 2019 Hall of Famer. Thirdly, we have Edgar Martinez. Edgar Martinez. All right, he's our next Hall of Famer that I'm going to highlight. My team's Hall of Famer, Seattle Mariners. We have now, with him, this makes number 8. And of course, in 2025, it's kind of been announced on the Hall of Fame schedule that's when Ichiro Suzuki will be eligible for the Hall of Fame. That'll round us off at an even 9. We could almost field a team of Hall of Famers. Minus, American League, you need 10 because you got to have that designated hitter with a pitcher. But that'd be cool to have a Seattle Mariners Hall of Fame game or something down the road. All right. But so Edgar Martinez. All right. His primary team, of course, the Seattle Mariners, and designated hitter is his primary position. The path was never easy for Edgar Martinez, and no part of his career seemed to arrive on schedule. But in the end, it was all there. 18 years in the big leagues, historic numbers at the plate, and a plaque in Cooperstown. Excuse me. So born in January 2nd, 1963 in New York City and raised in Dorado, Puerto Rico, Martinez fell in love with baseball at an early age and learned the game with his cousin, future big leaguer Carmelo Martinez. While in college in 1982, Martinez attended a tryout camp run Marty Martinez, who thought Edgar might develop into a decent big league infielder. He offered Edgar $4,000 to sign with the Mariners, and Carmelo Martinez convinced Edgar to take the money and the chance. The next season, Martinez began a 7-season trek through the minor leagues, interrupted by yearly call-ups to the big leagues starting in 1987. Finally, in 1990, Martinez unseated veteran Jim Presley and became Seattle's third baseman. He hit 302 and 306 7 in its first 2 full seasons, then led the American League with 46 doubles and a .343 batting average in 1992. But in an exhibition game prior to the 93 season, Martinez began the transition to his ultimate role, designated hitter, and by 1995, he was a full-time DH. That year, at the age of 32, Martinez became an overnight sensation when he helped lead the Mariners to their first division title. He hit an American League best .356, leading the league in runs scored 121, doubles 52, and on-base percentage of .479. And in the deciding Game 5 of Division Series against the Yankees, Martinez's two-run 11th inning double scored Joey Cora and Ken Griffey Jr. to send Seattle to the American League Championship Series for the first time in franchise history. For many, it was the moment when the Pacific Northwest began a love affair with the Mariners that burns bright to this day. I've always felt I can do what I can do, Martinez said in 2001. I'm the type of hitter that has to be patient. Now firmly entrenched as one of the game's most respected hitters, Martinez piled up accolades as he aged. He led the American League in RBIs in 2000 with 145, powered the Mariners to 116 wins the following year in 2001, and was named winner of the Outstanding Designated Hitter Award 5 times in a 7-year period. In 2004, that award was renamed the Edgar Martinez Award. He's going to beat you, said former Mariners teammate Mike Cameron. No matter how tough a pitcher you are, he's going to battle you. Martinez accomplished it all while dealing with a condition called strabismus, which caused his right eye to wander, limiting his depth perception. Then in 2002, Martinez missed about half the season following a hamstring injury suffered in April. He returned for action in June, but never regained his full foot speed. When they removed the tendon following the injury, it left me with only 2 muscles in my left leg, Martinez said, and I don't know if that supports it enough to go full speed. In 2004, Martinez hit just .263 and struck out more than 100 times for the only time in his career. He announced on August 9th that he would retire at the end of the season. Martinez finished his career with a .312 batting average, a .418 on-base percentage, and a .515 slugging percentage to go along with 309 home runs, 2,247 hits, and 514 doubles. Bill Bavasi, the general manager of the Mariners' AL West rival Angels from 94 to 99, called his years there a victim of Edgar, the greatest right-handed hitter of his generation. Martinez finished his career as one of only 6 players in history with at least 300 homers, 500 doubles, a career batting average of at least 300, a career on-base percentage of at least 400, and a career slugging percentage of at least 500. I've never heard anyone say a bad word about Edgar Martinez, said former Mariners manager Bob Melvin. And in this game, that's almost impossible. Edgar Martinez, another one of your 2019 Hall of Famer inductees. Now on to our 4th inductee, Mike Mussina. Mike Mussina, right here. So Mike Mussina, Michael Cole Mussina, primary team Baltimore Orioles, and primary position pitcher. Consistently consistent. While that may be the way fellow Hall of Famer Yogi Berra would depict Mike Mussina, it also accurately describes the way Mussina played the game. Consistently consistent. Mussina retired in 2008 after recording 270 wins in his 18-year career. He logged 17 seasons of 10 wins plus. What he did to get 270 total wins with all those things combined in a division where the Red Sox and Yankees have been slugging it out. In the toughest division in baseball for at least a decade, I just think it has been spectacular for the length and consistency, said Yankees general manager Brian Cashman. He's one of the all-timers. Growing up in Montoursville, Pennsylvania, Michael Cole Mussina was a three-sport athlete in high school, and he starred on the basketball court and the football field, but he was at his best on the pitcher's mound. He was selected out of 11 high school by the Baltimore Orioles. He was selected out of high school by the Baltimore Orioles in the 11th round of the 1987 MLB draft. However, Mussina nixed the Orioles' offer in favor of Stanford University, where he enrolled and played the game he loved. At Stanford, Mussina continued to excel. In 3 years, he won more than 25 games and was a key contributor on the 1988 Cardinal team that won the NCAA National Championship, and he was named Most Valuable Freshman in the 1988 squad. But the Orioles finally got their guy, as he was drafted by Baltimore again, this time with the 20th pick in the first round of the 1990 MLB draft. Mussina decided to go for his final year at Stanford and signed. The Orioles progressed as well. After the Orioles finished the 1995 season, they were 500. The 1996 signaled the start. Next on the list, number 5, is Mariano Rivera. If I can only get it right. All right, Mariano Rivera position MVP in 1999 and the ALCS MVP in 2003. Posting 44 saves with a 6 manager Joe Giraldi to take the ball from Rivera, who swept on the mound as 48,675 fans, 652 saves with a win-loss mark of 82-60. His career ERA of 2.21 ranks number 1 among all pitchers who started their careers in the live ball era, post-1919. And his 952 games finished also ranked first all-time. He had a great changeup when he was young, and he had a true slider to go with his fastball, Michael said. He could have been a starter. He could have been an infielder. He's such a great athlete, but I think it worked out pretty well for him as a reliever. Inductees, Mariano Rivera. And so now, rounding up our 2019, our 6th selectee or inductee for this year is Lee Smith. Lee Arthur Smith. Primary team, Chicago Cubs. Primary position, pitcher. At the time of his retirement, the numbers left little room for doubt. Lee Arthur Smith, by virtue of having saved the most games in Major League history, was one of baseball's greatest relief pitchers. Smith, born December 4th, 1957 in Jamestown, Louisiana, quick and good enough to be a starter, said Smith, who was lured back to this video. You like it? Share it. Subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you tomorrow for our Saturday box break. Same time, same bat channel. Until next time, this is Don Blomdahl, Hall of Fame Sports Cards and Collectibles from Arlington, Washington, signing off.